What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Round 5, Season 2, Let's Play Career Mode on Expert with the AI mod installed. And today we are going to a circuit pretty much everyone dreads when it comes up on the calendar. Catalunya in good fair Spain, Barcelona. There's Felipe Massa in P2. I'm still in P3, only 2 points behind Lewis Hamilton, the new championship leader. Fernando Alonso is right behind us, so a pretty interesting championship it's shaping up to be. And like I said, everybody always dreads going to Catalunya, but I have this AI mod installed. We've seen in the last races how the AI mod certainly improved the AI performance in the slow corners they have on pretty much every track. But I'm really hoping it'll slow them down a bit on this track, because it's notoriously hard, the AI on Catalunya. They're just a tad too quick to my liking. I mean, I like it realistic and hard, but, you know, I remember my first season, I ended like, what was it, 22nd or something, getting a major truly train and a huge gap to the ones in front, and it was only 20% races. Now we're doing 40% here on Catalunya. And still no R&D upgrades anymore. I just got the throttle map and improved braking responsiveness, but that's it. So I don't know what is going on with this aggressive R&D mapping. Here you see we got two standard and a minor up. Yeah, that's a brake responsiveness and the throttle map. But I mean, in Catalunya, that's usually the time where the teams bring their biggest updates, and I haven't gotten anything. I'm hoping, I really need this car to be better if I'm going to be fighting for the WDC, because this AI mod makes it pretty tough. I managed to get lucky a couple times in the rain races in the beginning, but and here we are, Q1 got through fairly easily on the primes. P13 not pushing too hard, the time somewhere in the 123 region. Let's look at Q2, let's see how we fared up there, if we could sneak into Q1. Yes, we can, 122.385, definitely much better time. I think last season I checked this time, it was a 123.8 something, 1.5 seconds up on my last season's time. A lot of it's due to the car, but I think a lot of it is as well due to me knowing the track a bit better now. Last year, I mean, Catalunya, it's so hard to practice on it when it's such a dreaded track and shit. I have league races coming up on it, so it was good for me to get some practice on. And we improved our time just a little bit in Q3, but we stayed in P7, 122.264, so a tenth up on our Q2 time, so that's always good. And still a full second down on Weber, the Aussie bastard, in P1, Massa second, Alonso third. So definitely Ferrari resurgence in my second season. Ferrari looked to be the team to beat. They've been getting the most consistent results. Hamilton still, well, just leading now. Here's a quick look at the setup. Mostly stolen, well, borrowed, let's say, from Victor Anderson on the race department forums, and then tweaked according to my liking and according to how crappy the Lotus is. Although it is much better than last year's car. I'm just hoping for a big downforce upgrade at some times, because there are sometimes in the season I've seen you get, you know, a 20% increased downforce, and man, I could have used it on this track, let me tell you. The high front wing does help a lot in taking, especially turn 3 flat out, even on the full engine tank, yeah, for the engine, no, the fuel tank, full fuel tanks, that's what I was trying to say. So yeah, it's an interesting track, but I just can't bring myself to like it. It's just not fun. Yeah, I had a little restart due to like my phone call and cock up, and I came back like half an hour later and just wasn't in it. So this is a restart, but these start, of course, P7 again. Everybody in their mama flashiness. I'm doing some little Vettel style blocking and weaving off the line. But off the line it's permitted, the stewards have said so. And yeah, while I had to do the restart, I did use the AI mod to tweak it just a tad. The AI, I tweaked one corner, not because I felt they were going too fast per se, well I actually do, but I kept it on standard. Just I think it's turn 12. The AI just kept slamming into my ass there and taking me out and giving me penalties and stuff, so I had to, you know, up their braking distance a bit. And so here we got off to a fairly decent start in P7, but I know this is going to be an uphill battle all the way. 26 laps of pure awfulness on the Catalunya track. This corner they tweaked fairly well. They're not as fast as they are, so this is the upcoming corner. I tweaked their braking distance a bit, and I may have overdone it a tad. Here I seriously dived down Hamilton's inside. But it works out. We managed to take the position. There's a warning. This is not going to be the cleanest racing you've seen from me. The first 10 laps were okay. I was managing, but after that I was getting very frustrated here. The infamous Catalunya curbs on that chicane. I mean, no throttle, no nothing. You'll still spin out. I don't know. It's very, very tricky to get that chicane right. Here I'm forced to take a defensive line because there's Hamilton. He's got a top speed advantage. I have the high front wing, so that's hurting my top speed. And again, the Cosworth engine isn't helping either against that Mercedes-powered Vodafone McLaren Mercedes. So here you see the front wing helping out. I can really take these flat out, and that gives me a little bit of breathing space usually. It is risky though. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do this setup style in the league races, because it's gonna be very important to have good top speed on that straight, because this track notoriously hard to pass on. So I don't know, I might be forced to tone down the front wing and struggle a bit more in the corners. But as long as you manage to keep it on the track and keep position, I mean, this is sort of an overtaking spot, but a very risky one, because you pretty much always push the guy wide if you take a dive on the inside here. But pretty much the only decent overtaking spot is, well, that turn 12 and then turn 1 along the straight. But even that's not a straightforward overtaking spot. So you're really gonna need good top speed in the league races. So I'm thinking about toning down the front wing, just having very low wing settings so I can have good top speed and make passes, and I'm just going to have to make do in the corners. And as long as you don't make mistakes, that's what happens. So here you see the Truly train is in full effect, so the AI mod is not having the effect I want. Look at the mini-map, button 6 seconds up the road, and I have a pretty big train behind me. Truly, if you see on the mini-map, my teammate is having his little Truly train of himself, so that might be my saving grace in this Grand Prix. Team orders is like, Truly, hold them up so I can have a gap to feed back into after my pit stop. We jumped a bit ahead. This is going to be a bit shorter vid because, well, to be honest, it was pretty boring to race. I really did not enjoy this race. I don't know, I had a pretty long day when I was doing it, and yeah, I don't like the track, and I figured, you know, if I practice on it enough, I'll start liking the track. I had it with China and Malaysia. Those were two tracks I really didn't like, but then as I practiced on it a lot, I started really enjoying the tracks. But this one, it's just broken beyond repair. Well, it's not broken, but it's just not a fun track. I just do not like it. Yeah, I can't put a finger on it. It's these medium speed corners everywhere. I'm not a big fan of those. I either like, you know, the really high speed ones, and I mean, this chicane is just balls out retarded. And I mean, the old layout was much nicer when it comes to the last sector. They had to put in that chicane because it was dangerous. Here's a Hamilton pitting. Rosberg is now, well, not on our tail. It looks like a lot of people pitted already on lap 7. And that breaks up the Truly train. You see, in one lap, Button gained 3 seconds on me. I didn't see what that lap was in here. Yeah, very strange spin. Big mistake, of course. And this is a track you really feel the tire wear on. These long sweeping corners. Of course, this track on the left is where Hamilton had his puncture on turn 3 on the penultimate lap in 2010 Grand Prix. So the tires really do take a punishment. There's a big difference in performance between the softs and the primes, and especially that left front takes a big beating. There's 2 high-speed corners. You take on full throttle or near full throttle every time. This one coming up, and then of course that famous turn 3. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out this weekend in the Spanish Grand Prix. Pirelli is bringing a new, harder compound tire, which is probably going to be a tad bit slower, but it'll be more durable as well. So that will bring in some more strategy, because right now, I think it's a very good move by Pirelli, because right now the hard tire is pretty much slower than the soft, which is normal, but it also wears out pretty much at about the same rate. You know, you don't see people, now pretty much the people take the hard tire and try to just get it out of the way. It's not really in strategy, it's because we're all forced to do it. So we get out of the way. So I think it's a good move by Pirelli. So here our pit stop. Let's see if we don't mess it up. Here, no pit stop assistance. Even though you turn off the pit assists in A lot of tracks in here. I'm, oh, fuck, that Renault is going to fuck up my pit stop. But no pit assistance here. Even though you turn it off on some track like Malaysia and China, you still get the assistance. And yep, we get held up. It's not too bad. I lost maybe a full second and a half or something. That's something I don't like in the game. Yeah, there's this element of randomness, and pit stops do happen like that and shit. You know, with mistakes and stuff. But especially in online races, I think there should be much less spread in pit stop efficiency. You know, because sometimes you can have a 3-second pit stop. You know, if you do everything right, you can have a 3-second pit stop, but you can also do everything right and have like a 5 or 6 second pit stop, which in competitive online races, 3 seconds, that's a lot, you know. And it's really just a toss of the dice. I know it's realistic, I know it happens to every team, but I would prefer to be a little less spread, you know. There's a 3-second difference sometimes in pit stops. Here we jumped ahead. There's people in the pits coming out of the pits, and we're going to try to take him, but he's probably too far ahead. But, you know, we're ballsy. Yeah, thanks, Rob. Brilliant overtaking. That was a dude in the pits I just overtook. But here you see, again, I mean, still the AI pace isn't fixed completely on this mod. Some could call it realistic that I'm running in P20 with a Lotus, but remember, this is a Lotus from Season 2, so it's a lot better already. It should be at the level of like a Toro Rosso in your standard run-of-the-mill season. And here, yeah, I just slam into Barrichello. I lost control, slammed in the back of him, spun him out. And you guys were maybe wondering, why didn't you get a penalty? I'm like, well, because... And here, another thing, Hulkenberg. I don't like the I don't like the Williamses. So yeah, I cut a bit ahead here. Two incidents with the Williamses. I was just getting so frustrated at this point. I was like, you know, fuck clean racing. This is the AI, you know. I would never do this online, but against the AI, yeah, you can take some liberties, especially on a track like this one. So here we had a little slam with him, but he managed to stay ahead of us. But we might get into the slipstream. The Cosworth power hurting a lot, but then again, the Williams has the Cosworth power, and here you see we're much more equal, whereas Hamilton was right on my ass on the straight. Here I'm actually gaining on him and might make a mover down the inside, and it works if we can keep it together. Yes! So at least one clean passing move during this race. We're still only in P17. We're hoping, and there, yep, you can't take it straight, didn't miss the turning point a bit, and those primes, they're harder, of course, not as much grip, not as sticky as the soft. So we're 36 seconds behind Webber, so that's the win gone. But we're close to that little train ahead of us, 3 people, and we see a 4th one up the road. Might still get a points finish, but of course nothing's guaranteed. Della Rosa battling it out with Kubica. And yeah, someone asked me, you know, you have updates on Kubica. I mean, there's a good blog out of a fan, a Polish fan. He writes it in English though, following the updates on Kubica. So if you're a fan, here, oops, sorry. So like I said, I'm not getting penalties as fast because I have with the AI mod comes a frustration mod. When the AI slams, you pretty much have less retarded penalties. I mean, here I definitely deserved one, but you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, there's a good blog up on Kubica. I posted it in a comment on my channel page. And if you guys really love F1 and you want to hear more about my musings, I started a blog. It's called backmarkersf1.wordpress.com. There's a link in my my profile as well on my channel. So be sure to check it out if you like F1 and you like to hear me jabbering about F1, and you would also like to see me write about it. You know, I have little segments talking, you know, pretty much anything that comes to mind. Little segment I did most recently is about I always take a look back at last year's race, like on the Grand Prix week. You know, the week before the Grand Prix, I always watch the whole race of the season before again. Just, you know, refresh your memory, and just because I'm jonesing too much for too much F1, too little F1 really. And so I watched the old Spanish Grand Prix again. So we passing someone else in the pits. Kubica pitted, so we're still only on P4 team. P4 would have been nice. Yeah, so check it out, backmarkersf1.wordpress.com, my new blog, and of course always follow me on Twitter if you want to chat about F1 stuff and get updates on when I'm doing my videos and struggling like a pig on Catalunya. So yeah, a lot of cutting going on, but just because it was a lot of boring. Here, I remember thinking this when I was driving. I was like, oh my god, 6 more laps of this hell. there's not much prospect of me gaining on anything. I was catching Alguersuari for a little time, but then I was just, I don't know, I just lost focus. I lost drive to really want to drive on the track anymore. I mean, 20 laps pounding around this is hard. Now, of course, we got league races coming up. 2 league races. It's looking like I'll finally be able to participate in both the ARL League and the Race Department League race this weekend. Nothing major planned for me. You know, there's always shit coming up at the last minute, but let's hope it doesn't. So I can participate in both the league races. And, well, I picked a good weekend to do it. I wouldn't have minded missing the Catalunya weekend. But, you know, that's how it goes. So yeah, now we have Alguersuari running away on us. We have Petrov closing in on us. And we have pretty much lost all hope of a points finish. This is the last lap already. You see Alguersuari ran away 11 seconds up the road. Now we got to defend from Petrov. Not that it matters much. It's mostly a question of honor. Fighting for honor, trying to keep the rudderless Russian behind us. And, oh, gotta love Martin Brundle. Such an awesome commentator, the things he says. But if you notice, he does repeat himself a lot. Like, curbs or bumps that shake the fillings out of your teeth. Or hugging the apex like it's your favorite granny, which I repeat a lot as well, I must admit. But still, he's got some pretty good quotes. Just sometimes he overdoes it a bit, trying to be witty. But in general, great commentator. It was working well with DC, David Coulthard. He's, yeah, I was a bit unsure about it, but it's much better than last year with Lijard the retard and Brundle. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. Of course, they should hire me, but, you know, in the posh beeb, I don't think they would like anyone with a Americanized accent like I have. You know, I have to start learning how to speak posh British, and I'm not going to attempt it because if you've seen my other episodes, I've attempted Australian and stuff, and that was pretty cringe-worthy. So here we are, last lap. You see the fuel light going on. So that was a good tip for my league races. Apparently you can't run out of fuel on Catalunya. So yellow fuel light, we kept Petrov behind us. No fist pumping, no Guido style, no Vettel finger. Nothing, just driving the car home, missed the team objectives, of course. And yeah, the Vettel finger, if you've seen my tweets, someone posted a picture of the new Red Bull A1 ring, and they had like they have in a Walk of Fames and stuff, they put their hands in the concrete, you know, imprints, and he actually put his hands, his feet, and then the finger. It's quite hilarious, but man, I want to snap that finger off. So annoying. So, disappointing P14 drops us all the way down to 5th in the standings. Not too shabby, not too good. I'm a bit disappointed with that. I was hoping for much more. Hoping the AI mod would help us out. At least we managed to get the qualifying objective out of the way, so that helps with our reputation game. But then the finishing objective, 6th? Seriously, Lotus? I mean, that's a bit too much as well. I mean, I understand, you know, 6th, you know, that's just too much. Can't do it, man. Next up, Monte Carlo, Monaco. I love this Grand Prix. It's going to be interesting how the AI fare here. We won it fairly easily last year. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Like I said, follow me on Twitter at the Villain F1. Just interact, you know, just send whatever you have at me. New F1 blog, you can leave comments on that too. Backmonkersf1.wordpress.com. And of course, continue liking, subscribing, and just watching my vids. And until next time in Monaco, peace out.